This is 10.3, solving radical equations. So we just finished all the sections in 9.1, which were simplifying radical expressions. And now we're going to jump to 10.3, which is radical equations. So make sure when you're doing the homework that you go to the agenda and make sure you select the Chapter 10 textbook. I linked it in the agenda. We've been working in Chapter 9. Obviously, we're in a new chapter, so make sure you click on that new chapter to get the problems. All right, so an equation that has a radical expression with a variable in the radicand, meaning a variable under the square root, is a radical equation. To solve a radical equation, we're going to isolate the radical on one side, and then we're going to square both sides of the equation. Okay, so we're going to look through it, 4 examples. A and B are similar, but there is one trick to B, and then C and D are similar in that they have more values under the radical than A and B do. Okay, so for A, we have 3 root x minus 6 equals 0. So we're going to start by isolating the square root. So we're going to add 6 to both sides. We're going to divide both sides by 3, and that leaves us with root x equals 2. Okay, to undo that square root, we can go ahead and square both sides. So we get x equals 4. And we can check if we do 3 root 4 minus 6. Well, that would be 3 times 2 minus 6. So 6 minus 6 does equal 0, which is what we wanted originally. So x equals 4 is good. Okay, for B, we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So we would have 2 root x equals negative 8. Divide both sides by 2. We get root x equals negative 4. Now we need to stop and think. Can we take the square root of a number and end up with a negative value? The answer to that is no. Anytime we take the square root, we end up with a positive value. So this would be no solution. All right, in C and D, we have a little bit more under the square root. So again, we want to isolate the square root. So in C, we're going to be isolating root x plus 6. So we're going to start by subtracting 9 from both sides. So we would have 2 root x plus 6 equals 12. Divide both sides by 2. We have root x plus 6 equals 6. Then we can go ahead and square both sides. This will leave us with x plus 6 equals 36. Take away 6 from both sides, we're left with x equals 30. And again, we can check if we did 2 root 30 plus 6 plus 9, that would be 2 times 6 plus 9. 12 plus 9 is 21, which is what we want, so we can be confident in our answer. All right, the last one, we have 4 root x minus 7 plus 12 equals 28. So we're going to start by subtracting 12 from both sides. That leaves us with 4 root x minus 7 equals 16. Divide both sides by 4, leaves us with root x minus 7 equals 4. And then we can go ahead and square both sides. That'll leave us with x minus 7 equals 16. Add 7 to both sides. That leaves us with x equals 23. All right, and then again, if we want to check, we would have 4 root 23 minus 7 plus 12. So that would be 4 root 16 plus 12. So 4 times 4 plus 12, 16 plus 12 gives us that 28 that we wanted originally. So we can be confident that our answer, x equals 23. All right, so just be on the lookout for those no solutions. Those can be a little tricky, so make sure you're watching for those in the homework problems. As always, message me if you have any questions, and have a great day.